Yo, welcome back. Episode 4, Two Shy Guys a Mile High. We got Phil.
Al in the building.
WB, we're in the layer.
In the layer. And let's
silence your phones, though. You know, it's like the movie theater. You gotta
man.
silence
You know what's up.
Please
Hey, no, but it's
phones.
announcing that Father's Day is officially tomorrow. It's coming up, and that's you know what I'm saying. We want to talk about Father's Day. You know, we got a couple fathers in the building here.
Wow.
And you know, it's a day of celebration.
Hey,
you know what I'm saying?
It's a celebration.
Blessings. Honestly, man, like if we could just, it's so surreal to me though. It's a little guy. You know what I'm saying? Like splitting image of you, girl, splitting image of you. You know what I'm saying? And looking up to you, and you trying to figure this out, and they just looking at you like you Superman. You know what I'm saying? That's motivating. That's inspiring, man. And it's been something that's kept me going. I mean, going.
And it pushes you, man. So you can't fail. So just to recap, last week's episode was about failure. We talked about the different things, the different experiences where we experienced failure and different outcomes coming from that. But this week, we're going to talk about time management.
Whew, broski.
That's right on time. Right on time.
Right on time for a couple of reasons. Because honestly, I was late for the podcast, man. So that's my bad. I gotta at least be honorable and say I didn't manage my time wisely. But when you got kids, man, like speaking of Father's Day, just pairing it all together, it don't go according to plan. Like you try to time manage, like we always try to get
excuses.
Excuses. What are excuses?
Look, when you got two variables, X, Y, when you only got one equation. It's hard to solve that thing. I mean, if you're talking about straight science, you want to bring it back to STEM, you need two. We got two variables. You need two equations. We got two variables, one equation. How do we get these boys to behave? We don't have the other equation, the other formula, so we can't solve yet. So time management's a little tweaky around that, but it's just different. You guys got different situations, so I'll let you speak on those.
It's definitely a learned trait and definitely learning to make that a strength because it's a struggle. The struggle is real. We're in the lair right now. I have a flight for a business trip at 7 a.m. and I'm still not 100% packed. But you know what? That's time management. And I think it's just about knowing what you need to get done, what do you need to have accomplished, and try to do as efficiently as possible, not getting distracted, and just sticking to the script.
Man. Stick to the script.
That's a hard part, though.
The hard part.
That delayed gratification. Because you could just kind of just say, nah, I'm just going to just watch this basketball game for an hour, drink some brew here, and I'm going to get up and pack my clothes. I got about 2 hours in between. Yeah. Well, you need to get you a nice little nod in. Get you a nice little nod in. And if you can't, then, I mean...
But you're probably planning it out. But we actually might... It depends on how you look at it now for time management. Because we know... Like, just in preparation for yourself, you don't see yourself sleeping much the night before your flight. You want to get everything done kind of just so you know that you plan. Like, you are using a form of time management. It might not be the most efficient way, but you are managing your time because, it'll only take me an hour or so. And I want to be up before my flight at 7. That way I can sleep through the flight.
Right.
So I can be as soon as I get there, I'll be fresh and the ball I can just hit the ground running. Yes, so you plan your time. It's like, okay, so I don't want to sleep before my flight because then I'll be up during the whole time. So I want to get things done efficiently and effectively, not last minute, but you're doing the things last before you leave. So it's just you're just knocking out all the variables that you need to do in order for your time management. So I feel like you're doing it. I don't know if it's the most efficient way, but it works for you in terms of your preparation for flights.
And in the last episode on failure, we talked about you personally define your definition of success when you're knowing if you're successful or if you're failing. I think the same thing applies to time too, because you are the person that knows your habits. You are the person that knows how you operate best. So in order to do that and manage your time efficiently, it might not be on the same time schedule as somebody else. It might not be on the same method as somebody else, but what works for you, works for you. Yeah. Although we do have our shortfallings in time management and we can all get efficient and better in everything we do in life, at the end of the day, you got to do what works best for you to promote your best skills, but shoring off those weaknesses and just getting a little bit stronger, little by little.
So, I mean, like if you just think about some of the most prolific entrepreneurs or people that really are successful, you see them popping just all the time. You think they just always on. I honestly think it's just they have the ability to set those boundaries, set that schedule, hit it. I mean, look, it's 11:59. Yo, I got 12 o'clock. I got a hard stop. I'm done. By 12:30, I need to be across town for this. Boom. I got to get my son at 1. I'm out. I got, they're executing on the level that they have to do because they know there's only so much time in the day. You know what I'm saying? And it's like when you can execute on that level, that's when all the blockers are out the way. You got your schedule down. You can say no to people. Hey, look, I'm from the 19th through the 21st. I'm on vacation. Don't bother me. I get back. I'm hitting the ground from 21st to 25, 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. I'm doing this. 5:15. I'm traveling. Like if you really can put your life into like a schedule almost like that. Not saying be robotic, but saying, free time from the 19th through the 21st, I ain't taking no calls, period. Now, what you do in that time is what you do. You hit the 21st, you come back to work, boom, you hit it. 9 a.m., I'm in the office. I'm hitting it. 10 p.m., I'm done working. You know what I'm saying? You set that boundary, and now you're able to reclaim your time.
And
really.
And to piggyback off that, the main thing that I use, I think, when I was, I just focus on what I do during the day. The thing that I use the most in terms of one of my tools is my calendar now.
Yes, sir. Ooh.
It's my calendar.
Talk about that.
Like, I plan out my days, and I think I become more effective when I do that. So ahead of time, I plan out exactly what I need to do during the day. Mm-hmm. I use that to gauge, and just like you just mentioned, it was just to gauge how your day goes because you want to make sure that you get all the things done that you plan to.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And just execute, because that day you have your milestones already planned out. By this certain time, I would like to be this place, and if you execute and honor your schedule, you really got to honor that.
Yeah, you really.
And if you don't, you're not going to make any progress, and then you're going to keep pushing it out. And pushing it out and pushing it out. Then you're going to look 5 years down the road and be like, man, if I would have just stuck to what I said I was going to do, then I'm now 5 years out. Boom, I'm done.
Yeah. WB, how do you manage your time? How do you manage your time?
Great point.
Man,
great question.
There's a wise lyricist that said, it's an everyday struggle. For me, it definitely is an everyday struggle, but I'm working on changing my mindset to say that it's a struggle to I'm working on getting better. I'm working on making a strength in my life. So right now, I think that I do a poor job planning out for the day and just planning in general. And with that being said, that causes me to be a lot more reflexive. And when I'm more reflexive, I feel like I'm on defense all the time. And when I'm on defense all the time, I can find my own self becoming a little bit more snippy, I would say, because I feel like I'm being attacked all the time. But at the same time, it's myself because I haven't planned my time efficiently.
That's easy.
On Friday, I had a really, really good day at work, but that was because I spent the night before staying up late, going through my schedule, really going through my day. How am I going to do things? Really planning it out. Mm-hmm. And then even as the day progressed and people were canceling on me, and I felt like I was ahead of the game. I was able to maneuver, spend time efficiently doing things that I need to do for me. And with that being said, I think that, Alan, you had hit on some good points about your value of time. What are your values? I think that really determines on what you're going to spend time on, how you can really analyze something to say if you're going to even exude the energy or spend energy or time to do a task. It's like, okay, what are your top 5 values? So my wife and I, today, we went through an exercise. We went through a value exercise, and it's the top 5 things that you value. And from that, it was just a bunch of cards. It said, what do you evaluate? Fitness? Do you value that over money, wealth management, spirituality, genuineness? Mm-hmm. And at the end, you have 5 cards. And from that, I have my top 5 items. And then anything that comes into my life, it doesn't feed into those things, it's gone. Like for me, it was spirituality, and then underneath that, it was legacy. Underneath that, it was achievement. Yo to the Noops, it was number 3. Number 4, after that was wisdom, and number 5 was genuineness. Wow. So if it don't fit in those 5 things, I just don't need to be wasting my time with it. So just streamline out your process.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I mean, honestly, like look at what you just spoke on. I mean, those values between all the 3 of us, there's got to be some overlap there. I mean, because no way we're sitting here doing this right now without that overlap. And I think genuineness, like if we really look at that, like we talk a lot of crap, you know what I'm saying, to each other. We give each other needles and jabs, but that's just because we want the best out of each other. And so, like, I think that the values, like you said, that you place on your time will really determine how successful you can be. Because if you're not investing in the things that really matter, that you value, you're not going to put your all into it. You're not going to be, if you're not passionate about it. Like, let's just say this podcast was just kind of something we were just trying. We're not on episode 4 then. Shit. You know what I'm saying? Episode 1. Episode 1 would have just been
all about the small wins. You know I can't believe it's crazy.
And so no matter what, however it goes down, like we've determined that there's some value here in just being honest and genuine with people. You know what I'm saying? So just tying it back to your value. Like, I promise you, like, that's probably paramount in my life. Just being straight up in who you are. Because I want to know who I'm dealing with. And when it comes to time, like we said we're going to do this, and somehow we managed to do this at 11, 11:10. But we're in here doing the podcast tonight.
Say the 11:10.
Tonight. I told you I was late. I ain't never backing down. I know it was my fault we started late.
Playing, man. I got to give you a hard time. Like you said, we jab each other.
But that time, I mean, I had intentions on being here at straight on 11. But because our values are aligned, you see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. You're not going to give me any flack on that because the relationship is already built in that value system.
We planned it.
We did.
And it's because we took that time earlier to plan out our day. So we knew our day was going to be flexible. Our day was going to be variable. We all had different things. We had 3 different courses of life going on at different amounts of time at different times.
Yes, sir.
So... And I got my son in town, so I'm a good Father's Day this weekend, man. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. Yes, sir. Happy Father's Day to you as well.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
I have no kids.
Hey,
not yet.
Not yet.
You practicing now? You can practice. You can practice.
We talking about practice. We keeping it PG or R?
That's
what it is. That's what it is.
Intelligence. Hey, some people miss that.
But since we took the time to plan it earlier, it's something that was able to work out later on, and
beautifully, man. And thank you guys, man, for just doing this. Honestly,
it was seamless as well,
bro. It takes a tribe, man.
It does, and at the same time, you got to realize that sometimes you can have a schedule. But at the end of the day, it's about God's time. He's the man conducting music and moving mountains.
Spirituality at the top of the charts.
And putting things in play.
Spirituality at the top of the charts.
So he be making moves up there because, man, Sam been busy recently. He got time, but God got more time. That's all I'll say. I ain't gonna try.
But can we let's bring it back though, because I know. We can go in non sequiturs all night. And so, like, really get into the crux of time management. Like, has there been a time where you felt like, had you managed the situation better? Now, we're keeping it on time management. Like, we're going to focus on there. If you would have managed it better, the outcome of where you are now could have been different. Like, I know that's very philosophical. I know we getting high level with it. But, like, if you think you would have, if you would have been more clutch, like real talk in the situation, do you think maybe you would have been in a completely different situation? Or do you think, like how I think too, we're where we are, we're supposed to be right now?
Go ahead.
That's a tough question because I do believe that everything happens for a reason. So I do believe it's part of, it's part of the plan of God that everything happened for a reason. But I have had experiences where I know I procrastinated, so I haven't utilized my time the most efficient way. So I do have experiences. So, for example, like just being in college and the time that it took me to be there, like I kind of goofed off my first couple of years, like my first year or so, and then I had to get back on track with that. So it's just like that's one more year of life that I could have had to been progressing towards my future and what my goals are. So I feel like that's one of the things that kind of boosted me. I could have been in this position a year further along than what I am now. Not saying that I'm not advanced for my age or where I think I'm going in life, but I could have been a year more progressive in terms of what I'm doing now. So I would say I didn't utilize my time the most effective way, but also everything happens for a reason. So I think that I was put in predicaments and I was put into situations where I just had to go through my phase of life and understand and go through my roadblocks and go through my challenges to get to where I am as a man today. So
yes, sir.
Yeah, I have a similar type of view too. So I also believe that things happen for a reason, but you're right where you need to be at the right moment in time for the right reason, for the right season, and just knowing to just ride the wave.
Right.
You just gotta ride the wave. So you just gotta take it a step at a time, just take it day by day, and just learn from the situations. Everything might not go perfect, but you're right where you need to be for the right reason. And if things will go well, just don't get down on yourself. Just get stronger. And if it gets to a point where you're in your life and things are getting too easier, then your tasks are too easy. You're strong for a reason, you know what I'm saying? Challenge, straight Bill.
Hey, Bill Cosby, man. I'm gonna say it.
Man. No, that just killed him. I'm so sorry, man. He didn't manage a lot of things. Time definitely.
That's my child. You know what? I'm not gonna even apologize. That's my childhood. I'm not going to sit here and preach about what he did, but in terms of a positive black image and role model in life for what he portrayed on TV, for what his job was on TV, it was excellent. What he did outside that, but at his job, he was good.
Yeah, I'm not condoning what he's done. I'm not saying anything about
outside of Heathcliff, Huxtable, like his persona, yes. But I mean, the man who played him,
right.
Obviously, he didn't manage.
Let's be clear, Stephen A. Smith.
And all his work. I mean, he did a lot of positive things, but what he did on the outside time, I'm not sure. I don't condone that. I'm not saying that, but just from what I've seen through my eyes,
right,
as Heathcliff Huxtable, and various others,
he was the epitome of what a black man
family
should have been.
A black family,
right, and that's a whole nother topic.
Another one.
But can we? So check this out, man. Like I still struggle.
Oh, you didn't give us one of those examples, man. How about yourself?
Yeah. Let me go there. I thank you for allowing me to take this time here. I really struggle now. No, I think I actually check that. As a dad now, I'm understanding the power of really taking your time and understanding where it's going, like for real, because I want to spend the maximum amount of time with my boys and Mary, right, and just understanding where we're going. Like you talked about legacy, like for sure, man, that's on my mind. Tough, just being from where we are and progressing the way we are. So like early in my years, like I would say if I was going back to my 20s, and Mary would kill me for saying this, probably like I was the worst, man. Like I just. No, because I was doing too much back then. Like, I mean, I had my own little business back then, and a lot of people didn't know that. And I was doing things like that, and then working at the B, you know what I'm saying, getting stuff done there. I was just doing a lot, and then she come along, and then I want to spend more time with her, so I had to figure out, okay, how do I fit her in my life? And so I just started to just cut things out, and realize that I'm getting older. I'm 24 now, 25 now, and we're growing in our relationship, and I'm like, I want to spend more time with her, so how do I incorporate all this other stuff that I felt was valuable at that time? And it was bullshit, pardon my language, but it was bullshit. I was just spending time, just doing, I could have been investing more money, right? I could have been investing my time in taking more classes, right? But I was out here trying to find out who I was. That time managed was what it was. But now as a 37-year-old man, I'm okay with that now. Like I'm at a place in my life where if I didn't do what I did then, we're not sitting here talking about.
Got you to where you are
it's
now.
Finding
right now.
Time. You talk about finding the time to figure out yourself. Is that code for being in the streets?
No, I mean, like honestly, like I was really, I had an entrepreneur spirit.
Mm-hmm.
I never wanted to work for anybody. But I knew I had to figure it out in some type of medium. I had to do something working for somebody to learn. I mean, I didn't know anything.
Yeah.
And so I was doing a lot. Like I really didn't sleep a lot. I mean, I didn't manage my time effectively at all. I mean, I definitely waited the last minute to do stuff. And that probably hindered me from, maybe hitting that next level 5 years earlier. Who knows?
Man, it's so tough too because you need to really evaluate how good you can do a task, or really be real with yourself of how long it takes to do a task, first of all, to be effective with time management.
But if you've never done it, how do you gauge that?
I mean,
like there's no previous data.
You're right. But sometimes there can be previous data.
You'd be like,
I'm flossy today.
It's ego.
It's ego, okay.
I feel like, I've never done this before. I can do it in an hour.
Yeah.
You don't even know what it takes to start it. You know what I'm saying? But you got to give yourself some grace.
It's the champion time. You know what the champion time is? And that's my biggest part of time management is like I know what the task that I evaluate. I know how long it should take me to do it. I don't put in the roadblocks that might get in the way and that might delay my time on doing the task. So like if I say like I get to work in 10 minutes, but I don't take account, like it might be traffic. What if there's an accident? What if they're paving a road? They got construction going on. Like I know the task takes 10 minutes, but just because of other variables that can happen, I can get caught at all the red lights versus just one of them. Or, you know what I'm saying? Just things like that. And that's one thing that I don't actually evaluate more of, like is just variables that may alter the time that I might propose. So like my friends always get, they always get on me on my time in terms of like when I arrive somewhere. Because like, I don't want to say like I don't want to be late. I just know that
ain't nothing happening right
when it started, man. Ain't nothing happening at that point in time, man. You ain't doing nothing but helping them set up, man. So like
nothing happened till 9:30 if it's 8 o'clock start time.
And everybody get on me. Like even my friends, they call it field time. They say you talking about real time or you talking about field time?
Hey, shout out to my boys from Denver, man. They used to always, my boys, Will and JP, they always used to tell me wherever I need to show up an hour earlier because they'd be like, well, you're just going to be late. And I always used to be late and always used to have some excuse. And always felt into the stereotype of being a black person that was already late.
We know who we get.
But they still love me.
We know what's up.
Look,
we know what's up.
Look. Let's be real. Let's open it up for deepness right now. Between us three, who is the more punctual person?
Who's the most timely person? Is it P-Wil, Al, or WB? The only way to find out is listening to the next episode of Two Shy Guys, A Mile High.